Hello guys, welcome back to another bog standard, no editing involved video. Scotty Senior here. This was a very good one. I enjoyed this one because if you look 2 spots behind us, the main man is in the house, Super GT, on, well, pretty close to the ass area from the start. I've really enjoyed the daily races this week, or this daily race, sorry, not the daily races, but I love this track. It's a beautiful track just for driving around. I could drive around it for hours, and I was not at home on my own setup in this race. We had an evening down in Flystagger's house on a Fanatec steering wheel with load cell brake pedals and stuff, so we were making a wee mistake here and there, mostly on the brakes, as we tried to find the flow of the trail braking and stuff. Really enjoyable evening. Starting this one in 6th. Steve actually started this one down in 8th place then, as Burrs gives us a wee tap on the backside. We're just out of the slipstream at the moment, and frustratingly we're still just out of it. Huge thank you and shout out to Flash for inviting me down to his house and ordering me some food and stuff. Fantastic hospitality and a great night all round, and this here wee race here just topped it off. After this race we even had Steve himself hop in dear chat and say hello. We've been waiting on it for years, and we hoped that one day it would finally happen, and it did finally happen. And when we came back home, we'd done our own stream after midnight, and he hopped in and played spin to win and won himself a fabulous prize. So that has been ticked off the things to do before we die list. The guys in front are starting to get a bit close to each other. Surely they're going to slow each other down now and allow us to sneak back up into that slip. Definitely in it now, just on the edge, on the fringe as they say. Khaleesful out front, the Frenchman, turned up that day and done a bit of zooming. And we're well back in the slip now. Have a quick look behind us, and there's Steve on the ass area of Burrs. A huge big queue, trying to force Hacker up the inside, but he decides against that, and still everyone being nice at the moment. I found the Fanatec wheel much easier on the exits to the corners to get on the gas earlier. A lot easier to control the back end stepping out. As we watch this for a badass move, a 3 for the price of 1 sale. That was so good, we have to watch that again. Now we come up, no contact from us whatsoever, just staying as close as we can to the ass area. Nice wide line. And just like that, the 3 for the price of 1 sale was dove upon like a dog on a piece of meat, as I like to say, or a fly on a lump of shite, whatever you're saying is in your neck of the woods. Up to 3rd position, a quick jump outside. JJ, the creator of this library that we were in. Steve is still in the background, right behind Burrs. Burrs has been out wide. It looks like Steve's going to be up behind us now. He is indeed. Let's hop on board with Steve. And we'll watch it from his point of view. That's a pretty sexy livery. He must be thinking to himself, on up ahead. Why would he not? A splash of green. He has to be thinking to himself. It might even be distracting him. He'll be pushing hard now, trying to get closer to that livery just to see how sexy it is, no doubt. And he is indeed making his way back up towards us. We were ever so excited now at this point in the race. Again, losing the back end slightly there. A lot of pressure on us. The last thing we wanted was Steve to end up making a video titled "The Biggest Fool in Gran Turismo History." The hands were a-shaking. I think he nails the life out of this corner and gets back into your slipstream. A small mistake about to happen for us on the exit of the left-hander here. As we drift out off the track, a set of dirty tyres now around that one. Managed to hold it, but Mr. Turismo has looked at that line and thought to himself, "You cheater, that is not allowed." And he has slapped us with a half a second penalty right before the penalty zone. So he smacks her bum and we serve the penalty and we drop down back on board with ourselves. Very lucky for us, it was only a wee half second. We managed to hang into the slipstream, so we're still hoping that it's only a wee land of it, it's not for keepsies. Hopefully we'll be able to make our way back. Steve going to the inside to defend. Looks like Burrs is going to get clean past him though. He does indeed. And we'll come into the final chicane. And around to start the final lap of the race. Like I say, I love this track. It's not a amazing track for having a race on, but when you do have races on it, they're very intense races. Have to be very, very precise and smart in what way you're racing. Three of us all still in the fight for the non-alcoholic bottle of bubbly at the moment. Who would be the thirstiest? Who would get to bring it home? Drifting it a wee bit wide there, missing our turning point. Steve's thinking about a move. He tries to the right, he thinks to the left, but Burr's having a bit of a I'm just gonna steer in front of you by the looks of it. A wee bit of blocking going on there. Who can blame the man? But who can blame the man? It's Super GT on his ass area. He wants to be on that man's camera as much as possible. Actually get a wee bit lucky here. We weren't looking for any side-by-side action, but we do get some side-by-side action there, and we got away with it. I can tell you that as that side-by-side action, we'll go back and let you see it again. As we got that wee sexy green nose on his right hand side, we actually yelled, "Hello sir, nice to meet you." I'm not sure if he heard me or not, but if you did hear someone screaming there, Steve, it was me. We were just screaming a big hello. Again, everyone, nice and patient. Nothing to be had at the moment. As long as we can hang with them, but around to the 20 minutes straight at the finish of this one, then we'll have a chance. As we come round this corner, but Burrs goes off the track and becomes a passenger in an incident and leaves two of us left to fight over the final Battle of Bubbly. And I was very thirsty. I was very, very thirsty at this point. I needed that Battle of Bubbly. Really enjoyed the Fanatec wheel as well. The much easier to be a lot more confident and catch the slides. I feel like the wheel has a bit more rotation in it, which I feel like that's probably the reason why it's easier to catch. I mean, the slides, as the more rotation means that it's smaller movements, it's larger movements in order to turn around the corner, but it's smaller movements whenever you're catching a slide, if you get what I'm saying. The tricky part for me to try and get the hang of was the braking. We had to wear shoes. It was like proper brakes, a very hard press in terms to go on the brakes full, and a reasonably hard press still, I mean, to be trail braking. A lot of the times we were either on the brakes too hard and the back end stepping out, or we thought I was on the brakes about maybe 40 or 50% trying to trail brake, when in reality we weren't hardly on the brakes at all. So we were I started to get the feel of it a wee bit. You can see there, but as we're coming off the brakes, we're coming off them very fast. If you notice on the inputs, we're just trying to find that release of the brakes as we almost drop out of the carousel there, the wee rut or berm, if I give it its motocross name. And now we're on the fringe of the slipstream, needing to get a good section here now just to try and hang on and give ourselves a chance. A big chunk of that one, and another big chunk of that one. A wee wheel on the grass. Luckily the back end didn't step out on us. And we're at this stage, we're still just clinging right on the fringe. We had not flashed our lights at this point, at the moment. And on the exit of this corner here, my heart started hurting me just a tad, as he got a better exit and we're now out of the slipstream. I try to nail the life out of this corner, but he nails it pretty good himself, and we're still just out of it. A wee bit of a chance for us still to get back into it if we nail the next couple of corners, is what we were thinking. And we nail the first one pretty good. Unfortunately we messed this one up terrible. We would have been back in the slipstream properly there, but he didn't nail the life out of that one himself. He has opened it up now to about 9/10 of a second. It looks like it's all over. So we'll have a big set of coconuts, lots of courage around that one, as Steve needs a bit of a lift there, almost a wheel on the grass, which allows us back in. And if we go outside, we start flashing those headlights and adding that pressure to this ass area. And straight away, that pressure starts forcing him into a bit of a wiggle. He's shaking that ass. We're awfully excited at this point, hoping that we're going to have some sort of side-by-side action, just in case the man happens to make a video out of it. Nervous as well on the way in here, and we place the sexy green car on his right hand side. bravery was there to be shown. Will leave him a shitload of space. He backs out of that and would just about manage to get stopped. And he goes for the cutback and would drop a wheel on the grass and lose the back end, and he steals it on us at the end. We get a half-second penalty as well, but it didn't affect us. We still finished in 4th. A thoroughly enjoyable race there with the main man himself. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. And a huge big thank you as well, to Steve, for hopping into the stream afterwards and saying good race and stuff, and even the next stream after I got home, hopping into the stream and playing spin to win with me. It absolutely made my day. Thank you very much guys. We'll catch you in the next one.